question. How are we affording life right now? So for reference, I'm in my mid-30s. I'm a millennial. I have 3 young kids. Both my husband and I have full-time jobs. So I'm a night shift nurse. I work full-time and I work overtime. I've gotten pretty used to that. I work incentivized shifts when my hours are getting cut at work because they don't need all the extra anymore. And so we're going through our budget because it's been quite tight. My husband also has a very decent paying job, makes almost as much as I do on the hour, not quite, but almost. And we're not gonna, without me working overtime or working extra, with me just working my normal hours, we're not sure that we're going to be able to make it. Somebody's gonna have to pick up a second job or we're gonna have to do something. The house that we bought is, we don't live in an expensive area. We live in the Midwest. We bought this house in 2017. It's not anything extravagant. Our kids go to public school. We drive old cars. We don't have student loans. We don't have excessive debt. How are we doing this right now? How are we, our grocery bill is insane, and we don't even buy, we just buy to get us through week to week, not even crazy stuff. What? How are you guys doing this? How are we doing it? Because I'm not going to be able to, and I know how much I make, and I know how much my husband makes, and I used to think that was really, really good money. So how are people surviving on less than what we're making? And I used to think that was a lot of money. We're in the 6-figure range combined, and we're barely, like I said, we're barely cutting it. And we're not extravagant people. We don't have recreational vehicles or anything. We don't go on vacations, nothing. How are you doing that?
All right. Let me say this, and I see this a lot, especially online. We have the people say that they make 6 figures and they're really, not surviving, or they're having trouble surviving. For people out there that are listening that don't really understand, 6 figures W-2 is totally different than 6 figures as a business owner. 6 figures W-2, let's just say on paper you make 100,000. You're not going to bring that 100,000 home. You're going to be somewhere in the 75. Depending on how you have your taxes set up, you're going to be in that range somewhere. You're not going to actually touch physically at home your 6 figures. Now, of course, if you're a business owner, depending on how you're set up, right? You may pay your taxes at the end of the year, and you may get all touch your entire. Let's say you make 100,000, you may touch that entire 6 figures, through the house before you pay the IRS. That's one way business owners are set up. Another way, you have some business owners that pay taxes every quarter. It's totally different. Depending on how you want to set it up as a business owner, you have that choice. But here's the thing, right? Here's something that a lot of people need to learn. And this kind of gave me this idea because I met this kid he's not a kid, he's 21, has a side business that he started. Create an income for the things to fund the things that you like to do. So I'll give you the example of this guy. He's a kid because I'm older than him, so by a long shot. He was power washing homes, okay? And I pulled over. I said, "Hey, bro, can you power wash, my house? I'll give you my number, my address. Hit me up." And he basically was saying, "Hey, I'm busy this weekend. I'm doing 3 homes today, which is a Saturday, and I'm doing 3 homes on Sunday. I may be able to get you next week or the week after next." So I just asked him, just being nosy, how much you charge. He was like, $300. I hit the driveway, and I'll do most of the house or whatever. If you want me to do the rear, the deck, and all that stuff, it's gonna be extra. So I'm thinking he's saying he's doing 3 homes a day on a Saturday, 3 homes a day on a Sunday. So that's $900 on a Saturday for a couple hours of power washing, $900 on a Sunday for a couple hours of power washing. That's $1,800, for the weekend. And then that's $7,200 for the month. That's around round up to $87,000 for the year, just for him working a couple hours on a Saturday and a Sunday. And we were just talking whatever because he's asking me about my cars or whatever. And he was saying he takes half the money he makes, so like Saturday's money, he puts into Bitcoin. Sunday's money goes towards his travel, and then he has another source of income that he works during the week. So this is an idea, right, for anybody that wants to start a business. Just throwing this in here, power washing, it seems pretty lucrative. If as long as you're using soap and water, you don't need a license. A business license as long as you're not using chemicals, right? Just soap and water, you're good in most states. But anyway, this kind of gave me the idea for the video because, and this is something that I do. I have different incomes where it's like this income goes toward the bills, this income goes toward the travel, this income goes toward the tricking, or whatever. And it's something that some people may want to start to think about, right? Where you pick up a second gig, right? Where you're doing something outside of your job, like how this lady is saying, we may have to pick something else up and dedicate that entire income towards your investments or toward, paying off your debt or towards paying your regular bills, just so that, you can make it out better. And, let's just say you may be able to start a business on the side or a side hustle and cut back on that overtime. And that side hustle can give you some of your time back, right? Because you're taking that money, even if it's an eBay business, right? And you're dedicating that money towards a certain goal or objective to help you in the future, or to help you. Like she said, she doesn't even travel, or have any expensive or extravagant things going on in life, right? But some of these side hustles can pay more than a job, right? Let's just say you're making $25 an hour on a job where you got to work, a while just to make $300. But then you have this kid who's power washing the house for an hour and he's making $300, right? An hour almost, right? So sometimes you got to look at it like that, right? What can I do to make a larger chunk of money in a short period of time? We gotta start thinking differently these days. You gotta start thinking just past in hourly. How much can I make per hour? My neighbor is a carpenter, right? And I was asking him if he could do some work on my deck. Well, he has a job as a carpenter, like he does some kind of construction, but then on the weekends and after work, he's building other people's decks and just doing carpentry work. He has that skill set, and he's so busy, like there's no money problems there because he's so busy with work. People need these things done. So that's what I'm saying. Some of these outside skill sets and ways of making money can accelerate, right? Let's just say you make $20 an hour, and in one day you work 8 hours. What's that? $160. Well, what skill set or what can you do to make that same 160 in 1 hour, in 30 minutes, right? Or a shorter period of time, 2 hours, right? So I just want to just throw this out there so that to open up everybody's mind and think. How can you make this happen more efficiently, faster, to get back your time? I'm interested in hearing what you all think down in the comment section. Let me know, and thanks for watching.